Mrs. Drew, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me what one of the primary issues is in your marriage and why you're trying to end it after 15 years?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I don't know how and why so long, because this guy, he only wants to have sex on Sundays. He has the Sunday rule. The reason why is because on Monday, he's talking about, oh, we just did it yesterday. On Tuesday, I got to walk 3.7 miles just to exercise and get myself together because he wants to keep his stamina up, okay? So then on Wednesday, he's talking about, oh, it's workout day. I can't have sex today. Thursday, the kids are up too late. Friday, it's family night. We can't do it. And Saturday, oh, we'll do it tomorrow. Then on Sunday, he's talking about, you know what time it is. It's only on Sunday, Your Honor. And I just can't understand that. And how...
Hang on for a second. Mr. Drew?
Yes, ma'am.
Sex only on Sunday? Is this true?
I like to keep stuff on the schedule, you know, and that's how I like to do it. I was in the military, so you like to keep stuff going on the same day. But it's more to the story than just that.
Well, what is it?
Well, we've been married for 15 years. We've been together longer than that.
Right.
We've had sex probably over 1 million times. So at a certain extent, it gets boring doing the same thing. When I try to catch her in the kitchen, she'll be cooking. I love to see what she cook.
Right.
I try to creep up behind her, try to get one in real quick while the kids out there somewhere. She wants to stop when I'm doing right in the middle of it and say, no, let's go upstairs to the bedroom. I don't want to go in the bedroom. I want to do it right here. This is where the excitement's going to come from. I try to catch her in the closet when she about to go to the bathroom, get in the shower. I like to catch her right before she get in that shower, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
where everything's still natural. And then, no, I got to go get in the shower first. I've been married with you for 15 years. I don't have to worry about no shower. I already know what you smell like. I'm good with that. I'm straight with that. We all right. You ain't got to hide nothing from me no more.
Now, Mrs. Drew, is it true that he tries to catch you a little, trying to make it romantic, a little mysterious, a little here and there?
All he doing is trying to get some Philly. He's not trying to have sex for real. Because when I tell him let's go upstairs, and then it's like, oh no, the kids are going around, they're going to walk in the door, and they're going to catch us.
That's why I want to do it downstairs, because they upstairs.
How you going to do it downstairs if they running around the house?
Because
that makes no sense, Your Honor.
Well, do you actually tell her, because I walked 3.7 miles, I can't have sex with you today? Is your stamina that bad?
No, this the thing. It's the thing, Your Honor. When I go out, I got to work. I do mechanic work, I go to school in the evening time, and I help my mother at her job. So when I finally get home, I still got to go work out. So when I come home, I'm actually tired. That's only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm usually tired. I'm dead tired. My feet hurt. Then I come in the house. My kids running around. Right. My youngest son is butt naked, running around, manhood flapping everywhere. So I got to go make sure he's straight. Then it's no food being cooked. House is dirty. I got to do all that. I got to clean up. I got to get over there. I got to chef up on the stove. Then I got to go make sure the clothes is washed, because she'll put the clothes in the washer and leave them there for a month. So then I got to do that. And then when I finally get upstairs after I done worked, done took care of the kids, cooked and cleaned, and I finally decide that I want to go work out and come home, it's 11 o'clock at night. Then she say, oh, you want to get it in? No, I'm tired.
But that's every day, though.
I got you, Mr. Drew. I got you, Mr. Drew. Mrs. Drew, you say you have to be completely silent during sex. Explain that to me.
Yes. If I make some noise, he said, oh, you just turned me off. You just turned me off if I make a noise or if I make a certain face. I don't know what kind of face I'm making. I'm enjoying myself, right? So I'll make a certain face, and he'd be like, why you gotta make that ugly face? And then he just
now, Mr. Drew, as gently as you can, tell me what is distressing to you about her facial expressions or her voice when you're having sex.
First off, when we get into it and she really get, when she's satisfied, her voice get deep, like mine. And I don't want that, because I don't want a man, I want a woman. So anytime that I'm really doing what I gotta do, and she, oh yeah, that's great. No, of course. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to still be going strong when I hear another dude in the room? Come on now.
Now, Mr. Drew, you got to be a little flexible.
I mean,
in a moment of passion, you have to allow for however it expresses itself. Some men never hear that at all. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a good job. She's just trying to let you know.
But I'm saying I can't help myself. I don't want no other man in the room. So when I hear that, that's my reaction. Ain't nothing I can do about that.
He has a nasty attitude. He has a nasty attitude problem.
What do you mean he has a nasty attitude?
He gets mad at the kids and stay beefing with them. He called them people on the street. And he stay beefing with them for 3 or 4 days at a time and won't talk to them. Then if he gets an attitude for something I said or something I did, he'll run across the house and just knock all the pictures off the wall.
Better that than you.
And then one day, my daughter calls me and say, Daddy is yelling through the house, banging on the walls, talking about you stole his clothes, and he want his clothes back. Where did you put his clothes at? I said, okay, I'm on my way home. I gets home, he huffing and puffing like the big bad wolf and walked out the house. I said, okay, God got you. He goes outside and gets into a terrible accident where a 4x4 came through the windshield, almost took his head off. Because that's that attitude that he plays on. I keep telling him.
That ain't got nothing to do with attitude.
Yes, it has a lot to do with your attitude.
Car accident is linked to attitude?
You know, Mr. Drew, I think what she's saying is that you go off half-cocked, you're angry, you go out there, and anything can happen to you.
Exactly.
Do you throw the stuff off the wall, and do you beef with your kids for 5 days?
She over-exaggerates everything.
No, it's not an over-exaggeration.
Beefing means I'm not going to sit right here. If you decide that you want to disrespect me, I'm going to give you time to cool off.
Right.
She called that beefing because I'm not going to sit right here and I'm not going to talk to you. So if you got an attitude and I'm telling you this is what need to be done and you not doing, I'm going to say, well, look, don't talk to me then until you get yourself correct.
So you give them the silent treatment until they come around.
But they be coming around.
They don't be coming around because they come around, I'm already there.
It'll be like with my daughter. She'll walk in, she have a pretty little dress on. She might be going to a recital or going somewhere to a gala or something. He won't even say, you look beautiful today. And I said, Kevin, you going to speak to your daughter today? And he'll walk away. Like, I'm beefing with her. It's still beef mode.
Oh, okay. I think I got this part all wrapped up. Now what I want to talk about are the outside influences that you say are hurting the marriage. Mrs. Drew, why don't you tell me who Ms. Sapphire Faison is as you step forward?
When I need somebody to confide in, this is my best friend, I confide in her. Now, Faison, tell her what's going on, and you ain't Willy Wonka, so don't sugarcoat.
Mrs. Drew, you may run your house, but this is my house, and I run it, so you just relax. Okay. Now, Sapphire, why don't you tell me what you think is the primary problem in the Drews' relationship?
Disrespect.
Objection.
Mr. Drew, don't interrupt. I will get to you. Why don't you explain that to me?
So she calls me one night, late, hysterical. I'm not understanding anything coming out of her mouth. So she lives really close to me, so I pull up at her house, and he's chucking her clothes out the door. He's locking her out of rooms, like the garage in their house has a deadbolt. She don't even know what's in that room.
It's a garage.
He's always with his mom. He's always with his mom.
That's because he wants his mother's milk and cookies. That's why he's always with his mother.
Okay. Mr. Drew, do you feel that Ms. Faison is in your business too much? And is she the outside influence you are worried about?
Way too much. I'm not worried about no outside influence. She needs to be worried about the outside influence because that's all she do. She preach that all her little friends, she give all of them victim stories. She posts stuff on Facebook. She puts stuff on Instagram. All these little memes about, oh, if he ain't doing this right, somebody else will, and all this other stuff. And she got all these friends jumping on it, don't even know the story.
Somebody to vent to.
Yeah, she needs somebody to vent to, tell the truth, though. Might eventually tell the truth, though. And then you come over here
and
come into my house.
Hey, don't argue between each other. Now, Mrs. Drew, are you one of these people that every time you get into an argument with your man, you got to post it to the world so everybody knows your business?
I did it one time. I made a
100.
huge mistake. I posted on Facebook that I'm now single because I moved out the house. We're not together anymore. So I moved out the house. So I put I'm now single. I was hurting actually, and I wanted somebody to talk to. But all the women went straight to his inbox, and he's talking to all of them. There's several of them. A long list of them. Cousins, friends, cousins, mothers. Everybody is in his inbox now. So now I talk to my friend about it.
That's fine. You can talk to her because she in my inbox too.
Hang on, Miss Faye.
What do you mean by that?
Hey.
Just what I said.
Mr. Drew.
I mean, you could go over there with him.
Stop. Mrs. Drew, stop. Ms. Faison, I'm going to ask you, what is your advice to Mrs. Drew? Do you think that she can fix this relationship, or are you advocating this divorce? Is that what you got going on in her ear?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you married?
No.
You got a man?
Yes.
Do you tell other people what to do with their men?
No.
Well, you telling her what to do with hers?
I mean, she vents to me. So my response is, you need to be in a situation where you're happy.
That whole time, then she get in my inbox, me and her talking, and she tell me this conversation didn't happen. Yeah. So
Faison, is that accurate? I see you biting your lip. That's a tell. Never go to Vegas. You did it. I see you right there. You did it. You got to be careful about friendships.
Yeah, I know.
They never should become primary over your relationship. You handle your relationship with your man in that house, in the room, not on post, not changing your marital status on some kind of social media. Don't make no sense. It's like trying to be married in the hall of a junior high. It won't work out.
See what happened, didn't you?
So I understand that Ms. Faison is not the only third-party influence that concerns us. We've already discussed her, so I think we ought to bring her out here. We're going to need to talk to your mother, Mr. Drew.
That's right.
And that's exactly what we're going to do.
In trouble now.
Very much, Ms. Faison. You may have a seat. I appreciate your input. Ms. Drew, I also understand that you believe there is a third-party problem, and that's with Mr. Drew's mother. So I'm going to have Anna Marie Bell join us. Mr. Drew, what is your opinion with respect to the dissension between these two?
First of all, when we moved down here, a couple of months later, my mother moved down here. Now, it was her idea. I go over to help my mother. It's maybe about 11:30. I'm moving her boxes in. You know what I'm saying? I get a text on my phone. Are you over there having sex with your mother?
Who does that, Your Honor? Who does that?
That don't even make sense.
She has a husband, Your Honor.
This is her.
That don't even make sense.
Hold up. You didn't say that.
Yes, she did.
Stop.
It was the circumstances around.
Oh, my
There's
God.
never no circumstances for that.
It's always circumstances with you.
Mrs. Drew. No.
That
I'm
just
about to
sounds
say
stupid.
something. What happens is you get upset and then you jump in the gutter. And the gutter is never a place from which a problem can get solved. He's having sex with her. You don't even go there. Whether you like her, you don't like her. Whether
Thank you.
That's just the gutter. We do not resolve problems swimming in the gutter. Whoa. Now, Anna Maria, let me ask you this, and just be honest, because I see a lot of this out there where mothers and sons are tighter than the sons with the wives, and there seems to be a lack of separation there. Do you believe that she has, as the Bible requires, left the home of the parents and cleaved with his wife?
Your Honor, I let my son be a man. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. He has a family and a wife to take care of, and I don't interfere with that. But when he calls me up and he says he needs me, I'm not going to close the door on him like she wants me to. She told me before, any mother, real mother, any real mother, if the wife and the husband are having a fight, wouldn't let the husband in because he needs to be outside and suffer. Who says that to I'm not going to let my son
stop.
No. He left you to get away from you.
Go be a man.
He left her.
We are not going to do that.
He left her to get away from her. So I'm not going to let my son be out in the street. Something happened to him. Oh, no, then I'm going to look at her.
Okay.
Okay?
I got it.
Bottom line.
At the end of the day, however, Mrs. Drew, I believe your overriding concern with Mrs. Bell is that you believe she's trying to set him up with different women.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to deal with that particular allegation. Drew, I'm going to ask you to tell me briefly and succinctly and without any flowery language, why do you believe Mrs. Bell is setting your husband up with other women?
Because if it's not her, it's somebody else. Matter of fact, it was on many occasions where I called her.
Mr. Drew.
Where I called her and asked her, where's my husband at? I'm looking for my husband over several different days. You know, I'm looking for my husband. And she'll keep telling me, oh, he's gone to the store. Or he'll call you back later. I have him call you when he get in. Come to find out he was living with another woman.
Lies, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lies.
Then another woman at the job, she has a friend at the job, and her daughter, she introduced my husband to her daughter, and they've been kicking it. So it's like on several occasions, it's different women.
I got you. Mrs. Bell, do you want to respond to those allegations?
Oh, my God. This girl, she lies through the skin of her teeth. You know what? At the end of the day, she's a hater. At the end of the day, I can introduce my son to anyone that I choose to. This girl has to get over herself, okay? She's weak-minded. That's why I call her a nitwit get-wit. Okay? Because she's simple-minded and she'll get with anybody to get what she wants.
I got you, Ms. Bell. Let me allow Mr. Drew to speak for momentarily here. Mr. Drew,
Help me, Lord.
are you cheating on her or are you not?
No, I'm not cheating on her. I can talk to people just like she talked to people. Half our relationship, she been talking to dudes. Like I said, when I cut my hair, the next month, she was messing with every dude with dreads in the vicinity of our city.
Seriously?
For like 6 months.
But you haven't cheated.
No, I ain't got no reason to. If I was going to do that, I did that a long time ago.
So that's not your thing?
No, that's not my thing. I like to keep it real. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to tell you I did it. And I'm going to invite you to join. And if you want to get in it, then we can all have fun. But I'm not going to sit around and sleep. I'm too old for that. I ain't got time to be sneaking around no more. I got kids and stuff I got to worry about.
But as he said that, I was talking to other men when we weren't together.
But we was married, though.
Hang on. I have yet another witness that I believe will shed some light on this matter. So could that witness come forward, please? Would you please stand over there in the witness box? Good day. Thank you for joining us. Could you please state your name?
Jasmine Jeffrey.
And Mr. Drew, who is Miss Jeffrey to you?
She a friend. She cool people. She's my mother's boss's daughter.
Mrs. Bell, is that accurate?
Yes, she is.
Are you just a friend?
I am. That's why I don't understand what's going on. She calls me, accusing me of sleeping with him and doing XYZ with him. We're legit friends. I've known his mom for a while.
Right.
When I moved down there, his mom introduced me to him. He wasn't dealing with her.
Right, yeah. This looks like a whole new story that we're getting into. And we're going to need some more time for this. I'm going to adjourn this matter for a moment, collect my thoughts, collect all my witnesses. What are your beliefs with respect to what his mother is doing?
Well, every time she has a job, she's always calling her son to the job. So I was wondering what was going on. And then when I would get back with him and we on good terms now, he's telling me, oh, yeah, I was talking to this woman over there. And I said, well, why every time your mother switched jobs, it's a new woman in place. So I knew that his mother was hooking him up with other women because she don't want me in the picture. So anything to get me out the picture, and she knew she wasn't going to work. So she had to bring somebody else involved.
Okay, let me ask you this. Ms. Jeffrey, how did you meet Mr. Drew, and truly, what is the nature of your relationship with him?
I met him at a holiday party. As you know, my mom works with her. So his mom introduced us.
Right.
We met there. We talked. I had just moved down there at the time. So pretty much she said that he can show me around. I didn't know anybody down there. And of course, you know, being as though I know her, she did express that she doesn't like her. And of course, it led to him telling me about the situations with him not wanting to be with her and everything like that.
Right.
But yes, we did, you know, go out, went out to eat, things like that, as in a way he's showing me.
Hang on, no, stop. I can run this thing, Mrs. Drew, and I'm going to run you right out of here if you don't stop.
Not a circus.
No. You got one more. Have you two gone out on dates?
Yes, we have.
Okay. And you knew he was married?
I did.
And if he were to ask you to take it to the next level, would you?
No, absolutely not. She was in another state. He was living with his mom. So no, that wasn't the case at all.
Okay. Mr. Drew, why don't you tell me what the nature of your relationship with Miss Jeffrey is?
It was cool. She's amongst all of the people that I met at my mother's Christmas party. I met my homeboy that I hang out with now. She don't say nothing about him. He do security at her job.
That's a guy.
I'm not going to lie.
Exactly. So it's people that I'm meeting. It's not just
Mr.
female.
Drew, I'm not going to lie, though. When she walked out of there, the look on your face, you were horrified.
I'm trying to figure out why she here. That's all.
So there's nothing else going on?
Nothing else going on. Like I said, if I wanted to do something, first off, I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't be that sloppy. I'd go somewhere else. I wouldn't do it that close to home knowing that everybody linked together.
But you didn't know I was going to get her number.
And I, as a mother, wouldn't allow it to take place in my presence.
That's a
now,
lie.
yeah, right to you because you're a cheater.
Hey,
You
you're
got
a
me
cheater.
cheating.
Mrs. Drew,
The proof is in the pudding, bitch.
Sit Mrs. Drew down. Sit Mrs. Drew down.
Y'all got to get me out of here.
You're not going to do nothing but sit there and be disrespectful as usual.
As usual.
I'm going to ask everybody to relax. Okay? I want everybody to relax. Mr. Drew, I'm going to go to you, and then Ms. Jeffrey, I have a question for you. Mr. Drew, what would you like to say, sir?
The whole thing is you could be associated with somebody of the opposite sex and have no sexual feelings towards them. If that was the case, then half of the rappers in Atlanta would be in a relationship with her. Am I correct?
That's what you say?
I doubt it.
We got pics.
Ms. Jeffrey, let me ask you this. Ms. Jeffrey, don't
she
go
throwing
gutter too.
shade in the
Miss, stop it. Do you have feelings for him?
No, absolutely not. No.
None whatsoever. So if she, divorce, granted, 2 days, out, done, he asked you out, your response would be what?
Nothing would change. You know, the only thing that kind of made this situation hectic is her calling me, being disrespectful. As you can see, I came to a courtroom, not a circus, and she's still being a clown.
Exactly.
So, you know, instead of her calling me to question me, she's calling me to accuse me. That's a problem. I'm cordial. I give you the same respect you give me. When you disrespect me, all bets are off, and I'm going to meet you at your level. So that's how that went.
So how often do you two engage in conversations or disputes?
Oh, no, she hit me up one time. That's one and done for me.
So that is over.
Yeah.
That is over. Do you have a relationship with any of their children?
No,
No. Now, Mrs. Drew,
Not gonna happen.
honestly, just between mother to mother, would you like your son to move on to Miss Jeffrey?
Oh, I don't pick who my son falls in love with. I don't pick who, because if I did, she wouldn't have been my pick.
Right.
Okay?
But was she
But she likes me
wouldn't have
better
been
than
my
her.
pick
Stop.
because from day one, she's been disrespected. I mean, day one, her plan. I'm going to tell you, Your Honor, I found out they were getting married 2 days before they got married. You know how I found out? Her mother told my mother. That's how I found out that she was getting married. Kevin knew. I wanted him to travel the world. He was in the Navy. She knew he was in the Navy, too. That's why she wanted to get with him.
Well, let me ask you this. Why are you blaming her for that? He's your son. He should have told you he was getting married.
I understand that, but he knew not to come to me with that. He knew. Honestly, he knew not to come to me because I did not want to hear it. But to hear it from her mother...
Yeah,
okay.
But you can't just blame him. I mean, he's a grown man.
I
and if
didn't
he's
want her
grown-
to marry him. I didn't want him to marry her.
I am talking. If he's grown enough to pick his own wife, he's grown enough to get married, he should be grown enough to tell his mother what he's about to do without being
Absolutely.
afraid.
I agree.
So you can't blame that on her.
I'm not blaming
That's
her
him.
on that. I'm just saying I don't like her. I never wanted them to be married.
What
Bottom
didn't you
line.
like her in the beginning? Why didn't you like her in the beginning?
She's always
was
been
at
a
the wedding.
disrespectful
Stop it.
little hood rat. Okay? She was the one riding around the neighborhood, half dressed, always thinking she was the queen of everything. Oh, I got everybody's looking at me. I got it like that. You don't have a pot to pee in.
Okay.
Stop
Now,
faking.
We're going to end that conversation. Mrs. Drew, if you can you act like you got some sense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please come on
Yes.
back up.
Yes.
That's a lie.
Now, why don't you respond to the accusations that you tipped off and got married to her son, didn't tell anybody? What was the complication that allowed or required that to happen?
I don't know what was. Kevin wants his mother, and his mother wants him. So it probably was he didn't want to tell her, give out, the information, and tell her, oh, I'm going to move on, Mom, because that's what he should have done. I asked him to do that. He didn't do that. But at the wedding, she was there. She actually signed the
I'ma be
paperwork too.
supportive.
So first I'm with my mother, now I'm with
Hey,
her. Now who am I be with next?
I don't know. That's a good
Stop.
question, Kevin.
She's
Just like
crazy.
everybody in your inbox. Everybody's on the Steal Your Man challenge, just going around.
I
out
don't
here for
understand
some
how you could be
reason.
so confident yet so intimidated by
At the same time.
Hey, stop it. Stop it. Do you believe she's a good mother to their 5 children?
She needs to discipline them. I mean, they get away with murder. She tells people that I don't want my grandchildren at my house, which is not the case. She doesn't want them at my house because they enjoy themselves around me. They could be children around me.
No, that's a lie.
Yeah, right.
Well, what I'm going to spend the remainder of this session doing is talking about today forward. Because we got to talk about the kids because they got to co-parent and we got to get things done and I got to get you off your feet. So we're going to move forward. Jeffrey, I'm going to give you the opportunity to sit down because you've been standing there for a little while. But I want to ask you, is there something you want to say? Something, because it seems that you have something on your mind and I just want to know exactly what's going on here.
Yes, I want to figure out what is Kevin going to do. We were going out, we were hanging out. He has been expressing to me he wanted to leave her, based on what the mom was saying.
Objection.
And he was saying they were in
I'm
agreement
going
to
to let you
that.
respond.
And at this time, he needs to man up. We did go out. I heard him over talking me saying as friends, we were going out. But like I said, I was aware he was a married man. So I wouldn't take it any
drew a
further.
line.
I say it again. Exactly. But I'm not going to let him just throw sand over that line either.
Why
We
is
were
that your
going out.
business?
Stop it. Mr. Drew, your response to that comment? Were you dating her, weren't you?
No, I need a lawyer. This ain't right. I need some type of legal counsel or something because
Were you dating her, weren't you?
No, I need a lawyer. This ain't right. I need some type of legal counsel or something because
I
they
mean,
lying.
at the end of the day, he's a man. He's lying about not even wanting to divorce her, so of course he would lie about that.
But Jasmine, he's not lying about not wanting a divorce. Y'all were friends. Why are you making it any?
Okay, I got it.
To me at my car.
Oh my God!
I got it. Miss Jeff, go ahead and have a seat.
you.
I think I know what's happening here.
Can she sit over there?
Just don't go over.
Right there.
I'll
We're
sit
all
her
going to
this
behave
way.
like we're
Not a
adults.
problem.
So it shouldn't be a problem where she sits. So, Mr. Drew, you say nothing's going on. She's just a friend.
Nah.
And you're not dating anybody else.
No, ma'am.
You're not seeing any other women.
No, ma'am.
You've been separated, but you haven't touched nobody. You haven't kissed nobody. You haven't gone out with anybody. You just at home with your mom.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I get it. I get that that's your story. Mrs. Drew, you seem to want to have something to respond. What is it?
When we was at the store one day, and he had took me to the store because the kids needed some food, so he took me to the grocery store. He went in the store and left his phone in the car, and this girl called, and her picture pops up. So that's where I got the phone number from, but also in the phone is pictures of a little boy. So I want to know who is the little boy, because it ain't my kids. My kids all look the same. This baby looks nothing like them.
Mr. Drew, do you know what little boy she's referring to?
It was a meme that I had on my phone. That's all it was.
That was clearly not a meme.
The picture actually had words on there saying something about how somebody's son looked old or something like that. It wasn't nothing relative to me.
Mr. Drew, if eyes could burn, you'd have a hole in the back of your head. Mrs. Jeffrey, do you care to comment on that?
He does have a picture of my son now. It's been a screensaver. I'm not sure of that. My son moved with me, so of course I learned places where kids could go, the aquarium, where he takes his kids when he has them.
He not even
like that.
kids,
He never had
when
my
she
child.
moved out, she took all the stuff in the middle of the night after I got into my car accident, texted me and told me that she moved to South Carolina.
But
she was telling me that for a whole month. A whole month. So I'm texting her, telling her, well, I need to see my kids. I need to see my kids. Oh, we in South Carolina. It's too far to drive today. It's 3 hours away. It's 4 hours away. This, that, and that. But you're going to have to see him on the weekend. Turned out, it's her friends inboxing me. We talking. And I kind of find out she lived 30 minutes down the street from where we live at. I got a 6-bedroom house, Your Honor. They could have stayed with me. She talking about something, we going to a shelter for battered women. Who you lying to? How you get in there, first off? And why would you take your kids to a shelter when I got a 6-bedroom house?
Okay.
And travel to South Carolina
let's talk about the leaving and the situation with the children. Drew, we were talking about when you left and the situation with your children. Why don't you give me your version of that event? Because he said you kept them down the street and they could have been home the whole time.
That's because he came in the house at 5 o'clock in the morning because we was arguing. He feel as though when we arguing, he could do whatever he want to do. That he's no longer my husband.
That's personal.
So he comes in the house. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, and I got up out my bed. I said, one thing about this, Kevin, I ain't never been disrespected. I'm not about to start it now. You're not going to disrespect me in my house. So it's either me or you. Because if you think you're going to be coming home at 5 o'clock in the morning, you might as well live by yourself. And I gave him that ultimatum. He said, oh, well, it's going to be you because I'm not leaving my house. He feel as though it's his house because his name is on the loan and my name is on the deed. So then he just feel like, okay, I own this house. So I said, okay, cool. And I left. I packed up my stuff and I left and I
Do you
moved
let
and got
him
my
see
own
the
place.
kids?
He could have called me and asked me, but he did not call me.
Judge,
He did
every
not
time,
ask me,
every time she catch an attitude with me, the first thing she do is she slap on her bulletproof vest, which is all 5 of my kids, and she say, well, if you can't get along with me, or if you don't do what I say, you will never see your kids again. You will never see your kids again.
Mrs. Drew, let me say this. You doing your children a disservice. Children that who have a father who wants to be active and involved have a right to have them in their lives, and you got to make it easy for them. You have no right to make them fatherless. The girls are going to go out with the first guy they see because they don't have a dad at home that makes them feel like the princess. The dudes are just going to go wild and because they don't have, when they're teenagers, they don't have a man in the house that does a little bit of this when they get a little gruff and angry. Because I know I've had 6 sons. I know when they get crazy, I step back and my husband step forward. forward. So you don't have that right. And I want you to be very, very clear about that. You do not have the right to do that to your children. I don't care whether you like him or not. I don't care whether you like him or not. Now, Ms. Bell, you just dying to say something. I'm going to ask you one question, and I'm going to leave it go because I got to talk about this money. In your heart of hearts, you would like him to move on and to move on with her or someone else, or do you have no one in mind?
I have no one in mind, but that's not my concern. My concern is, you know, if kids should stay in kids' place. Kids should never be involved in the conflicts of their parents. So therefore, you should not be talking down about the other parent to your children so that they
Does
walk
that
up to
happen?
you. Yes.
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 At no point, hey, this is just a categorical statement. At no point in time should any parent say anything negative to their children about the other parent. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's happening. You are destroying their foundation, their security, their need to have two stable parents, and you don't have that right. Neither one of you. I don't know if you're doing it or not, but I know you are. Because I know how you be around them to do it. Because I know how you're behaving here.
No, I let my kids speak for themselves.
Hey. Inappropriate, grossly incorrect, and don't let it happen again.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
So after 15 years, you guys been together since you were 12, right? 5 children. You're ending this marriage. You are seeking from him $6,500, $4,000 for a new car, $700 for a U-Haul, and $1,500 for a townhome deposit and rent. Can you explain to me the nature of your request?
Because the day that we got into the argument where he had where I woke up and he came in the house at 5 o'clock in the morning, I gave him an ultimatum. The next day, he asked me for the keys back to the vehicle that I drive with the kids. It was a minivan. He asked me to give him back his keys and leave. Okay, so I gave him back his keys. I had to go out and find me a new car. So I had to buy a new car. Then I turned around when I moved, had to furnish my apartment. I had to get I had to move all my furniture
she made on her own.
to the new apartment. Then on top of that, I had to pay for the security deposit and the first month's rent. So I feel as though he should pay for that because I wouldn't have left if it wouldn't have happened.
No, you can't. Because no. She's not getting any money. Let me tell you why she's not getting any money. You over here, Miss Power Broker, the primary breadwinner, and all of that. When people separate, it's the breadwinner that has to pay the non-breadwinner the money to separate. You made the decision to move, so you moved, and that was your choice. That was your decision. You making all that money. You spend it on what you need to spend it on. But I'm gonna tell you what. Sure. Don't let me hear about you not letting that man see his kids. Don't let me hear you talking badly about that man, not just to him, but in front of him. You are dismantling them when you do that. You are destroying them when you do that. You're making them feel small and like nothing. And whatever damage you think you're doing to him, multiply it by 20, and that's what you're doing to your kids. And you don't have that right. There will be no recovery in this matter. Thank you. It is so ordered. Good product.